Hello, this is Chris with a K. People call me Chris, people call me KX, and people call me Kix at my work. One of my coworkers and a client of mine, I guess now, gave me these gold chains. They wanted me to make them into a ring. So I'm looking at it. They're all marked 10 karat gold. The clasps are marked 10 karat gold. So I've never worked with gold before, and I've never melted chains before. So I was excited to take on this project because I think taking on new projects challenges you. You're really never going to get better unless you try something new. They also gave me this broken link, but it was not stamped, and you see that it has some silver on it. So it's a little bit suspect. I tested everything with a magnet. That seemed to work out good. Now when I weighed this thing, it weighed like almost half a gram. And that's almost half a gram. It just does not look right. So I decided not to use that link. I'll just return it to the customer. So weighing everything up, I get about 3 grams. I don't even know if that's enough to make a ring because I've never used gold before. So I took a silver ring, 1.23. Okay, well, 3 grams should be enough, right? Yeah, well, gold is a lot heavier than silver. So that one is less than 3. So I look up on the internet. It looks like it says at the bottom, 1 ounce bar of gold will be almost half as large as a 1 ounce. So now I'm like, oh crap, if I have a 1.5 gram ring, I need 3 grams. So I look at these charts here, but for 10 karat gold, it's closer to silver. It's only like, I don't know, 1.1 times instead of 1.8 times as dense. So the only way to know for sure is to try it. So I melted these chains, and I get this tiny little itty bitty piece of gold. I'm going to run it through my rolling mill. I'm going to anneal it many times where you have to heat it back up so the metal doesn't crack. Because just like when you bend a piece of metal over and over again, it's going to crack. Here I am forcing it through all kinds of high pressure rollers and whatnot. So you have to heat it up in between to keep it malleable, if you didn't know. And then I turn it up into a ring shape, and I used a silver sterling setting to put the gemstone. They gave me the gemstone also. It was an opal. It was very pretty. But I decided to use the sterling silver because I didn't know how much gold, if I would have any gold left to make a setting for it or not. Plus, it's just so much easier to buy one that's already made. So that's what I did. I'm still it's many hours of just heating and stretching this out. If you are staying tuned to the end, you'll see the pictures. Maybe you'll be impressed. I do appreciate that I realize that watching something go through a roller is not that exciting. I watch a lot of videos on how to make jewelry, and I'm bored. So I get it down to the right size, thickness, and it looks like I'll have enough length for the size that the customer wants. So now I got to do some more calculations, and that's how much I'll need to make the size of the ring. And it looks like I have a little bit left over on the ends. What do I do? Do I cut those off and give them back to the customer, or let's do something a little bit different? It was nice that the customer said that they didn't really have a specific design that they were looking for. They just wanted it to be thin and to have an opal. They did seem to like the idea of like 2 rings with the gemstone in the middle. Well, I obviously didn't have enough gold to make 2 rings, so I thought I'd kind of do something a little similar where I just like, since I had those little extra tabs on the end, I would kind of just bend them down and around to kind of give that look. And then I also thought to kind of set it in there sideways, because who likes anything that's nice and straight? Like, I want it to be weird looking, I guess. So I end up put it in there sideways. You'll see at the end. I'm just bending it here and shaping it and hammering it and making sure it's round. And yeah. I have to cut into it and then use a file to kind of make a V shape so that when I bend over, you know, because on the inside, yeah, the outside will stretch, but the inside needs somewhere to move to. So I'd already bent over the other side, so here I am bending the second side. If I showed you all of the video footage from this, I don't know how many hour-long project this was. It took me, you know, off my work hours and on my weekends, some days, I think this week was one day weekend. You know, it basically takes me about a week to knock this out. Just a couple hours here and there. I'll tell you what, I'm going to solder this basket setting in there. Soldering is a lot of jewelers' like favorite part because you're taking this metal, when you watch it and it floods, it is pretty cool to watch, but it's also very frustrating when it doesn't turn out right. That is not my favorite part. My favorite part is taking the files and the sandpapers and the buffing sticks and the polishing wheels and all of that. Like, I like to take something ugly and dirty and turn it into something that's nice, pretty, and shiny. Some people like rings that have like a textured finish. I don't. I like it to be perfectly shiny and mirror finish. I could do those textured settings or textured finish. Some people like it, you know. If that's what you like, okay, I'll do that for you. But it's just not my favorite thing to make. I did throw it in the tumbler. I like to tumble my jewelry, not necessarily to get it shiny, which it does make it shiny. You get a higher polish when I do the polishing. I'll put it in the tumbler before the polish because the tumbling actually makes the metal a little bit harder, which keeps the polish on because the metal is a softer metal, silver or gold, and it'll get scratched and it'll get buffed. By the way, don't ever take your rings to the beach. Sand is like an abrasive thing. It just destroys jewelry. So leave your rings at home when you go to the beach. I don't know why people wear their jewelry and then they lose it in the water and on the beach. Okay, I set the gemstone. I'm not an expert at that either. I'm working on those skills. Actually, I got a couple of projects right now that I'm just doing. A lot of my jewelry, my wife gets the jewelry, and it's not because she's asking me to make something specific. I usually just want to learn a different technique or something new. I think that's the best way to challenge yourself and to practice and get better at things. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. This project was, like I said, the challenge was gold, something I'd never done before, and also the melting of the necklaces, and also figuring out like how much I would need. This is my ultrasonic. I did not put it in the ultrasonic because I have ruined an opal by putting it in the ultrasonic. Actually, the color came back days later, but I'm always very careful now whenever I clean my jewelry. Here's finished product. I'd like to hear comments, even if they're criticisms, like, well, you put it in there sideways, or one side looks a little longer than the other, or tell me if you like it, or whatever. This shot here is, it's me showing off, once again, showing off my little hallmarks on the inside. I marked it with my hallmark, KX, and it's also stamped 10K because they were 10-carat chains that I melted down. I'm on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, so if you want to get in contact with me or drop me a message, let me know what you think in the comments below. You know, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it.